Hi guys, this is my second time doing this video, so it's not going to be as good as the second one, I guess. What this video is, it's going to be a quick little rundown on what is hookah, what is shisha type video. I'm going to start from the top to the bottom. So you start off with your coals. There's two primary types of coals. You're going to have your instant light coals and your non-instant light coals. There's two very different ones, and some very preferred by a group of people. And personally, I prefer these. A lot of friends prefer these. These are the instant lights, and these are made out of coconut shells. These can be very useful if you want to smoke in, say, your backyard. You're not going to have any power out there, so it's going to be a nice, easy. You just take a flame to it, and even a big lighter will light this up. You put the big lighter to it for a second, it's gonna spark up real quick. It's gonna make a lot of smoke, and it's gonna smell bad. So those are some cons and the pros of this. It's very easy to use, lights up, and you're gonna get a nice little smoke session out of this. Now, they are, oh yeah, I forgot to say, they're covered in gunpowder. That's what makes the initial ignite, and it's gets all over your fingers. They both have stuff that gets all over your fingers, like that's all on my thumb. But these are the preferred type, for me at least. What you do with these, you get a burner, electric or gas, doesn't really matter. But you want something that's going to so it's going to light and heat the surface while having airflow around it. Without air, you're not going to have anything heat up the correct way. And I have one going over there, so I'll show you the next product of this when it's actually on fire. That's almost going over there. So you got your coals, and then you got your tinfoil. Tinfoil is tinfoil. If you don't know what tinfoil is, then stop smoking hookah. I don't even think about smoking hookah if you don't know what tinfoil is. Yeah, so just want a little square of tinfoil, or they also have, I think it's called a lotus. It takes the place of the tinfoil. It goes right over the bowl. And your bowl is where you put your shisha. Got a little in there now. I'm going to put a little more in. I'm not going to go for a big session because I'm only using one coal. That's another thing. You might want to use more than one coal sometimes for the bigger hookahs. My hookah is probably about a mid-range hookah. I think it stands at 26 inches. And so you just get a nice light pack in there. Like I said, it's pretty late, so I'm just doing a little pack. And then you're gonna just either side of the tinfoil. Some say the shinier side works better, but I don't really see a difference. So just put it over the top. Clean up the sides, press it in. And then put your holes in. The holes, try and, if you can, get a toothpick. This works, but you gotta be careful with it because it's gonna make bigger holes and it's gonna rip the tinfoil. I'm gonna speed this up real quick if I can figure that out, or I'll just skip it. Alright, so you got a couple holes in there. You're probably gonna want about 30 or so. There's not an exact science that I know of, but you're just gonna want a nice amount of holes. So just drop that onto your grommet, which is this part, and the black parts in here are your other grommets. So just get a nice seal on there. Okay, under this, you have your ashtray, the metal ashtray. So the other day I had quite a few people over, and we were smoking the hookah and everything, having a good time. And when I woke up, hold on, put the coals away. When I woke up, I had a ashtray out. I'll see if I can find that near that end of the video when I go and grab that coal. And someone put one of my red hot coals onto a glass ashtray. Some of you are thinking that's just plain stupid. Well, it is. Because I woke up and I found the ashtray shattered and with pieces scattered around my room. So, obviously, that could have broken off and killed someone easily. It's glass flying at high speeds. So, just a word of caution, don't put fucking hot coals on glass ashtrays. Okay, under this is your stem. Yeah. Alright, so basically it's just one tube that goes all the way down into the vase. And right about here, not part of that tube, it's up on the outside part, is 3 holes. The holes will vary hookah to hookah. Some will have 1, some will have 2, the majority will have 2. Or some can have like 40, I don't know, probably not 40. But the holes lead to right here, and in the back. If it's not a cheap hookah, you have an air valve right here. Inside your air valve, you have a ball bearing that if you blow, it's gonna push the ball bearing up and release smoke from the chamber. That'll make the next inhale not as stale. Other than that, let me just put that cork on that side. I'm gonna grab the other coal and my hose real quick. Alright, so that coal wasn't really done yet. It should be done any second now. But here is part of the ashtray that shattered. Right there is where the coal was. And was the initial crack. Alright. So, now that we got talking about the vase, we got the hose. Simple, right? Yeah, I'm going to pause this real quick because I'm going to grab that coal. I'll be right back. Right now, I don't know if you can see it against the white, but I have the coal on there. I'm only using 1 coal because that's a pretty small pack and I don't want it to last all night. But I have my hose connected, and I might end up putting in that instant light coal just to get it going again later if I don't completely burn it out. I don't like to waste my shisha. You get it quite a bit for $10, but I don't want to waste it. So it's got a funky taste. This is probably burning off a little bit of the. It was packed a little. I didn't pack it down. So your hose. Hoses are pretty basic, but they come in all different fancy types and everything. Breathe from this side, plug this side into the hookah. But the 2 main differences in hoses. Some will have a ball bearing in the side that would close this off or open it up. If you're breathing through it, it's going to open it up and let the smoke through. or if you have this one plugged in here, and I'm trying to breathe through this, right now it's going to make me breathe through the second hose and the base and the air valve. Well, right now, because my ball bearing isn't in my air valve, because I kind of lost it. But, so you're going to be getting all the air from the base and the air from the other side of the hose. But if it's the one with the ball bearing inside, it's going to close this off, so you only get the air from the vase. That's going to be a lot better. And need something to close that off. I'll be right back again. Alright, so I got my valve closed up. Alright, so we're on hoses. So under your hose, the last part is your vase. The vase is a very simple thing. It's a vase. Holds your liquids, I'm gonna say. You can use anything for your vase as long as it will make a good seal here and hold whatever kind of liquid you want to put in there. I've seen people use normal flower vases, and I've seen watermelons. I will probably try a watermelon in one of my next videos. I'll try to do a watermelon because it's just a cool idea, and watermelons taste good. So you'll notice that currently my liquid is blue. It's just some blueberry fruit punch or blueberry something or other juice that I got. And I put that in there because I have a shisha right now. It's Smack It by Hard Rush. And it's a very fruity flavor. And it tastes a lot like Skittles. So I wanted something that would complement that shisha flavor. So I said something fruity and got the blueberry. Get a lot less smoke when you don't use two coals, but it does taste really good with the blueberry and that Hard Rush. So I'm not really condoning it, and I'm not saying that you should go out and do this or anything, but a lot of people enjoy putting alcohol into their base, and I'm going to tell you that even if you're a very heavy drinker, I know a lot of people that are, but if you're a very heavy drinker and you put alcohol into your base, it's not going to be like you're drinking. It's a whole, inhaling alcohol is a lot different than drinking alcohol, and it's going to mess you up, and probably not in a way you like, and it's not going to last as long as drinking it would be. So if you do decide with whatever, please don't drink after you do that, or please don't drive. It's gonna be stupid, and you're not gonna notice until you try and stand up. So just don't go ham on it, if you know that expression. Just don't go at it hard. Watch yourself, be with friends, etc. You're not gonna know that it's gonna hit you until you already hit. Thinking about putting another coal on there because it's not even like enjoyable right now. Oof, that's not gonna taste good. So when you hear it sizzle, you're usually burning the shisha. And when you burn the shisha, that's not a good idea because it's going to taste bad. Um, What a hookah really is a vaporizer. For if you know what a vaporizer is, it brings the tobacco to the boiling point, and it doesn't burn it. There's no combustion involved, and it just heats it up, and that produces the smoke. But with a hookah, it's actually not smoke; it's vapor, and this is a lot more healthy than uh, cigarette smoke. I'm talking about the smoke. I don't want all these comments about hookah versus cigarettes. Um, the Hard Rush, it's labeled as 0.05% nicotine. Uh, I know a lot of other companies don't even label what their amount of nicotine is. I have an Alfakers box that's just plain mint, and it simply says that there's no approved tests for testing the amount of nicotine in shisha. I don't know the truth behind that or anything, but if they don't want to tell me what's in it, I'm fine. So, the different things you can get for your hookah that aren't really necessary is they have metal screens. Was trying to go over that briefly before. They have the metal screens. I think one of them is called the Lotus. I'm not totally sure, but it pretty much just takes the place of the tinfoil, and it that's simply it. And then they have wind catchers. Wind catchers sit on your ashtray, and they go up and then close it off. And they'll have little bits of holes, but not very many. This will make more smoke or vapor, and it's going to heat up your shisha faster and heat it up for longer, because all the heat from the charcoal isn't going to be dissipating into the air, because all this is just radiating up when there's six sides, one side is down. So obviously that's not very efficient. I don't think there's really much more to say. Burners, if you really don't understand that, you just get your coals and you would put it on your burner and set it to a medium to high heat. Um, I'd probably go more with the medium. What your coal is probably gonna catch on fire. It's just something that happens. That's not something to worry about. It's gonna go off as soon as you take it away from the burner itself. Um, anything else? Dropping coals, don't pick them up with your hands. It's fucking burning hot. I guess I can show you how to light one of these instant lights. Because I do want more heat, but I don't want to use another one of my coals because I don't know how long it's going to be until I get to my local head shop again. So I'm going to just grab a lighter real quick. So you're going to see how simple this is to light. I'm going to light this a couple times just to speed up the process. But you really only need to hit the flame to it once and hold it there for a second or two. So you light your lighter and you just on there. See that? It sparked up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Those little sparks, air hot, and it will hurt you. It's not gonna feel good if you have fucking hot sparks coming at you. You can let this sit now and it'll light itself up, or you can just hit it again with the lighter to make it go faster. You're gonna wanna try and get it all done from sparking before you do put it on your hookah, because see all that smoke? That doesn't taste good at all. You don't want that in your lungs because that's straight gunpowder smoke. You don't shoot a gun off and then breathe in all the smoke that comes off that. And try and get it well ventilated. Use these outside if you can, because it's going to smell for a while in here. And you see right there, that's your end result. It's getting white hot right there. Well, it's really red hot, but it looks white on the camera. And you can see it's still sparking. It's doing that all by itself. I'm not hitting it with the lighter anymore. And you just let it keep going. Now it's just working its way to the back where I was holding the tongs and it couldn't really get back there. Alright, that seems like it's pretty much done. I'm just going to go over it once more with the lighter. Just get out any little remnants off. Because I'd rather not get a nice tasty amount of gunpowder in my lungs. It's just not what I do. If you don't blow on it, it's still gonna end up the same result. Just blowing on it will speed it up faster. Same with the cocoa coals. If you know anything about fire, oxygen is what you need. Now, it's kind of hard to tell. These are domed off, and the other side is indented. So I'd put it down so dome faces up. It usually helps a little better so the air can flow under there, and it just keeps it a little warmer. But the top did light up first, so I'm going to put that top down first until the bottom, and then I'm probably going to flip it. Yeah, a little more of the gunpowder just sparked off too. And it does smell pretty bad in here. I'm going to have to turn off the fan, open up a couple windows, light a candle, the works. You do get a pretty noticeable taste from it too. But it's not that bad, and the taste kind of does dissipate after a little bit once the entire thing heats up a bit more. Yeah, I got my So I got both the instant light coal and the cocoa coals on there right now. And what you just saw me do, I just like to grab the cocoa coals and just hit it off the metal tray a couple times. Just drop any extra ashes that are sitting on it, and that will warm it up a bit more. And when you are breathing in, it makes the air rush through here, So that helps light it up too. So if you take a couple hard puffs, it's gonna heat up your shisha a lot faster. Okay, something that's really fun for people to do. Hookah bubbles, or shisha bubbles, or just bubbles, people call them. I don't have, I'm not gonna set up the stuff right now for it, but you're gonna wanna if you wanna try this, the best way to do it is get some kind of bowl that's about yay big. Get the base layer of bubbles going, then cut open like a cup. So don't use a bubble wand, it'll be a little more difficult. But something that, or I guess something that's like a paper towel roll, but plastic. Something along those lines will work. Because you're going to want full airflow. Something that completely covers your mouth and gets the end completely covered in the soap or bubbles. So you put it like that and you just blow your smoke and it's going to get a nice big smoke bubble. And they're pretty cool because they don't pop as easy as normal bubbles. And when they do pop, it just explodes with smoke. I'll try and do one with a normal bubble wand, but it's going to be hard to see because they're not big. Actually, these are pretty cool bubbles because they're scented bubbles. So let's see if we can get a little shisha bubble going. Okay, you see this? I'll try and point it this way so you get a darker view. Almost dropped it. So these bubbles are still right there. So let's see if I can hold the laptop at the same time. Just pop and smoke. The bubbles, they're gonna be around for a little bit. They don't evaporate half as fast as normal bubble does. It's just smoke filled bubble. Just had like 4 blow up in my face.